Welcome back to Pleopod, your weekly dive into the most critical tech news shaping our digital world. I'm Arman.
And I'm Maya. Today we're tackling a serious one that just dropped, CVE 2026-42897, a critical zero-day vulnerability affecting Microsoft Exchange Server.
Absolutely, Maya. This is one of those vulnerabilities that security teams are scrambling to address. So let's get right into it. What exactly is CVE 2026-42897?
At its core, it's a cross-site scripting, or XSS, vulnerability. Specifically, it allows for spoofing. The CVSS score is a high 8.1, which tells you it's pretty severe. The real kicker is that it's a zero-day, meaning it was discovered and is actively being exploited in the wild before Microsoft had a chance to patch it.
That's always the scariest scenario. And which versions of Exchange are we talking about here?
The vulnerability affects on-premises versions of Exchange Server, specifically Exchange Server 2016, 2019, and the Subscription Edition. Importantly, Exchange Online, Microsoft's cloud-hosted version, is not impacted by this particular flaw. So if you're purely on Exchange Online, you can breathe a little easier on this one.
Okay, good to know the scope. Now, how are attackers actually exploiting this? What does the attack chain look like?
It's quite insidious. An attacker can exploit this by sending a specially crafted email to a user. The critical part is that the vulnerability is triggered when that user opens the email in Outlook on the web, or OWA, under specific conditions. When that happens, it can execute arbitrary JavaScript in the user's browser. This could lead to session hijacking, data theft, or further compromise of the user's account and potentially the wider network.
So a social engineering element combined with a technical exploit. And you mentioned it's actively being exploited. Any idea who is behind these attacks or what their goals are? It really underscores the importance of staying vigilant. Microsoft has acknowledged this and has put out some immediate steps, right? What are those?
Yes, they have. Microsoft is providing an automatic mitigation via their Exchange Emergency Mitigation, or EM, service. This service is designed to help protect Exchange servers from emerging threats. For organizations that can't use the automatic service, perhaps due to being in an air-gapped environment, they also offer the Exchange On-Premises Mitigation Tool, or EOMT, which can be used to apply the fix manually.
That's good to have options. However, I've heard that applying these mitigations isn't entirely without side effects. Is that true?
Unfortunately, yes. Microsoft has been transparent about this. Applying the current mitigations for CVE 2026-42897 may cause some issues. Specifically, users might experience problems with the OWA print calendar functionality, and there could be display issues with inline images in the OWA reading pane. So, administrators need to weigh the risk of the vulnerability against the potential disruption from the mitigation.
That's a tough call for many IT departments. When can we expect a permanent security update, a real patch, to address this vulnerability without these side effects?
That's the million-dollar question. Microsoft has stated that a permanent security update is under development, but they haven't provided a timeline for its release yet. In the meantime, applying the available mitigations is strongly recommended, especially for internet-facing Exchange servers, despite the known issues.
It's a classic security dilemma: immediate protection versus potential operational disruption. For our listeners who are software builders and IT pros, what's your key takeaway here? Excellent advice. So to recap, CVE 2026-42897 is a serious XSS vulnerability affecting on-premises Exchange 2016, 2019, and Subscription Edition. It's actively exploited and requires immediate attention. Temporary mitigations are available, but come with known side effects. Exchange Online users are safe from this specific threat. Keep an eye on Microsoft for the permanent patch. That's all the time we have for today on Pleopod. Thanks for tuning in.
Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.